Have you ever had that quiet, nagging feeling that you're just following a script that maybe you never even wrote? Well, today we're diving into an idea that might feel a little too real, the life that wasn't really chosen by you.
Right now, at this very moment, someone, somewhere, is waking up.
They're getting ready for a day that feels off. Like wearing clothes that just don't fit right. They're living a life that was built on a foundation of choices that weren't really theirs to begin with.
And here's the really scary part. It's not some big dramatic moment, at least not yet. It's just this slow, creeping sense of normalcy, where you feel it in your gut, but you can't quite put your finger on why.
So how in the world does this happen? Well, it usually starts really early, with a path that seems so clearly laid out for us. The one that promises safety and success.
From a pretty young age, you were basically handed a formula, right? Go to this school, study that, get this kind of safe job. This is what success is supposed to look like. It was sold to us as the only path that made any sense.
And so, slowly, decision by decision, so slowly you barely even notice it, you start to change. Every choice made to fit in or to make someone else happy kind of chips away at something. And you become this version of yourself that the world, your family, your friends, everyone claps for. Everyone except maybe you.
And this leads us to a really weird place, a place that's both super comfortable and deeply unsettling. It's a trap, but it's a trap that feels, well, normal.
So what's this trap actually made of? It's the normal stuff. A decent job, a daily routine you can set your watch to, a predictable life. On paper, everything looks great. And that's exactly what makes it so tough to leave. It's comfortable, it's safe, and hey, it's what everyone else is doing.
But even inside all that comfort, there's a little whisper. A voice that comes from deep down, one you can only hear in those quiet moments, like on the drive home or right before you fall asleep. And it asks this really simple but kind of terrifying question. Is this really it?
So if we hear that voice, why do we ignore it? Why do we stay on a path that feels kind of wrong, even if it's perfectly built? Well, the reasons are pretty powerful.
It feels so logical to ignore it. First off, look around. Everyone else is doing it, so it's got to be right? Second, the thought of stepping off that well-worn path feels incredibly dangerous. And finally, let's just be honest with ourselves. Comfort is addictive. What we know is always, always easier than the unknown. And this is what leads to the breaking point. The day comes when you realize you feel completely, totally lost. But here's the twist. It's not because you failed at anything. Oh no, it's because you succeeded. You followed the wrong map perfectly, and now you've arrived at a place you never actually wanted to be.
That feeling, that bizarre feeling of being perfectly lost, that's often the trigger. It's the little spark that lights the fire. It's the awakening, the moment everything just shatters. And just like that, the autopilot switches off. The daily grind, the assumptions you've held for years, the path itself, you start to question all of it. The whys that you've been pushing down for so long, they finally bubble up to the surface. The first question is the big one. Why am I really doing this job, living in this city, following this exact routine? Is it because I want to, or is it just momentum, expectation? And that question leads to an even deeper one. Who's actually benefiting from my life? Am I living for myself, for what makes me feel alive, or am I living for someone else's approval, for a definition of success that somebody else handed me? The second you truly ask these questions, it's like a light flips on. You wake up. The illusion of the right path is gone, and you can finally see the bars of that comfortable trap. And here's the simple truth about an awakening like this. Once you see it, you can never unsee it. This newfound awareness leaves you standing at a crossroads, and you have to make a choice. It's the final and probably the most important choice you'll ever make. You really have two options. As this shows, the vast majority of people will choose to go back to sleep. It's just easier. It's safer. But a few will choose the harder path. They'll accept the scary freedom that comes with knowing the truth. And, for the very first time, they'll start to actually choose their own life. So the only question left is, which choice will you make?